On the edge of a quiet, snowy village, the last night of the year whispers through the streets. Warm lanterns sway in the wind, painting little circles of light on untouched snow. A girl in a red scarf stands alone, watching distant fireworks bloom like flowers in the sky. Her breath turns into tiny clouds, rising slowly as if carrying silent wishes upward. Beneath a lonely red lantern, she notices a small fox spirit curled in its gentle glow. Its fur shimmers with frost, and curious eyes reflect every lantern in the village. Without a sound, the fox spirit turns and darts toward the dark line of the forest. It leaves behind paw prints that glimmer faintly, as if made from starlight in the snow. Drawn by a feeling she cannot name, the girl follows the shining tracks toward the trees. Moonlit pines rise above her, their branches heavy with snow, forming silver tunnels in the night. The distant temple bell rings 12 deep notes, welcoming the new year into the world. The sound rolls through the forest like a slow wave, brushing against every branch and stone. Soon she reaches a frozen pond, its surface clear as glass under the pale moon. Beneath the ice, strange glowing patterns twist and swirl like sleeping constellations. When she steps carefully onto the ice, it sings in soft crystalline tones beneath her feet. Tiny snow spirits rise from the frozen surface, their bodies round and bright as little lanterns. They circle around her and the fox, dancing in spirals and leaving trails of pale light. Without speaking, they turn and drift away, gently inviting her to follow deeper into the night. In a hidden clearing, she finds a massive, ancient camphor tree wrapped in countless red ribbons. Its branches sway even though the air is still, as if breathing with a quiet heart. At its roots, the fox curls up and gazes at her, as if waiting for her choice. The trunk pulses with warm, golden light, beating slowly like the rhythm of an old memory. She reaches out and rests her hand on the bark, feeling its gentle warmth. Lanterns of light appear around her, each one holding a moment from the year now ending. She sees bright scenes of laughter, clumsy mistakes, and quiet tears drifting together into the air. Slowly, they merge into a single soft pink glow that settles inside her. Before her eyes, the tree opens like a giant wooden flower, revealing stairways made of roots. The steps rise upward into a tunnel of stars, inviting her to climb into the sky. She steps forward, the fox by her side, and begins to ascend into the shimmering night. Around her, the ordinary forest fades, replaced by drifting lights and gentle, endless blue. At the top, she enters a sky filled with floating torii gates hanging in midair. Cherry blossoms fall impossibly through winter, petals glowing as they pass slowly by her face. Wind spirits shaped like koi fish swim lazily through the gates around them. Their scales sparkle like grains of rice in mochi, catching every bit of starlight. The little fox runs ahead through one gate and transforms into a majestic guardian spirit. Its 9 tails flow behind it like ribbons made of cloud and morning mist. Together they arrive at a shrine floating in the sky above the sleeping world. Around it, paper cranes fold and unfold themselves, carrying wishes written in glowing golden ink. She takes a blank crane and carefully writes a quiet New Year wish upon its wings. When she lets it go, it glows warmly and rises to join thousands of others overhead. An ancient tanuki in formal robes steps forward from the shrine shadows to greet her. With slow, respectful movements, it offers her a small lacquered box tied with red cord. Inside, she finds a single seed pulsing gently with light, alive like a tiny heartbeat. Understanding without words, she kneels and plants it in the shrine's soft, timeless soil. In an instant, a delicate bonsai tree springs up, branches spreading into perfect miniature form. Glass ornaments appear on its branches, each holding a tiny living scene of the world below. Within them, she sees families gathered around tables, sharing food, laughter, and the warmth of home. One ornament shows her own cottage, glowing softly like a candle in the snow. The tanuki gestures kindly, showing that every wish and every heart are quietly connected. The guardian fox bows its great head, its many tails curling like protective wings. Suddenly, a shower of shooting stars crosses the sky, flowing like rivers of silver light. Each star carries a fulfilled prayer, falling gently toward the distant village and mountains. One star drifts down into her hands and softens into a warm, floating lantern. It glows with the same light as her wish, ready to lead her back home. She steps through the gates once more, sliding down a rainbow made of frozen colors. The strange sky melts away, and the familiar shape of the frozen pond returns beneath her feet. The fox shrinks back to its small, original form and nudges her hand gently. With one last longing look, it turns toward the trees and slowly fades into the snow-lit darkness. When she reaches the edge of the village, she notices a new red ribbon on her scarf. The first hints of dawn spill over the rooftops, turning the snow a soft blue. Villagers step outside with bamboo rakes, sweeping away the last traces of the old year. Their breath mixes in the air as they smile and greet one another with quiet hope. Children discover sparkling fox prints in the snow at their doors, each filled with sweet treats. Their surprised laughter rises into the cold morning, as bright as any firework. At her own doorstep, her mother waits holding a steaming bowl of New Year ozoni. The red lantern above their door still glows, welcoming her back into its warmth. Inside, she places her glowing paper crane gently at the family shrine, among other wishes. Its light joins the rest, forming a small, steady constellation in the quiet room. Outside, the first sunrise of the year spills gold over the village roofs and trees. Snow, smoke, and clouds turn soft and radiant, as if the world itself is exhaling. On a distant hill, the fox spirit watches the village with calm, shining eyes. Its breath becomes small white clouds, shaped like cranes that drift slowly into the sky. The village bell rings again, its deep sound rolling across fields, forests, and frozen streams. Each note settles gently in her chest, filling it with a quiet, growing courage. She ties the red ribbon firmly to her scarf, feeling the fox's presence close by. Children run past her, flying fox-shaped kites that dance wildly in the pale morning wind. Snow begins to melt in small patches, revealing tiny, stubborn flowers reaching toward the light. They promise that even after the coldest night, soft colors will always return. As evening falls, lanterns are set upon the river and carried away by the current. Each one holds a wish, a memory, or a quiet thank you to the passing year. She kneels at the river's edge, watching her own lantern drift among the others. Its glow is steady and bright, reflecting in her eyes like a second small moon. For a brief moment, the fox spirit appeared as beside her on the snowy bank. It bows once in silent farewell before dissolving into a sky full of gentle stars. The lanterns flow together downriver, forming a long, shimmering path of light. They wind toward the unseen sea, carrying countless hopes into the open night. Above the resting village, the full moon hangs perfectly still, mirrored in the quiet water. A single golden firework blooms silently overhead, marking the beginning of a gentle new year.